Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I'm Conostip and this is going to be part 31 of my early campaign where I'm playing as England. And in the last episode I did fend off the French who did attack Flanders. Those sneaky little gits there, yeah, they attacked Flanders and I was not as heavily defended here as I thought that I was, but I was able to win that battle, which kind of did surprise me, but it was a good surprise because I'm building a castle here in this province and yeah, that's going to be another 10 turns before that's finished, so I'm glad that wasn't interrupted. In fact, that is one thing that I do like about Rome Total War over this game, is that having settlements besieged doesn't mean that the building is being cancelled, it just means that it's put on pause for a while, which is a nice thing. And it's something that I would have liked to have in this game and Shogun as well, because that would have allowed for these provinces to be made into these like defensive perimeter provinces, which can still build buildings without needing like, you know, an entire garrison, you know, like multiple stacks or so to defend, you know, because that's how it was. You know, you used a smaller garrison and a nice defensive castle or keep or something to defend, you know, an area with without having to spend so much on a permanent army, right? And you can't really do that in this game without, you know, having your buildings being interrupted by probing attacks by curious neighbors. So yeah, that's one of those nice things about Rome that, you know, there's a, you know, it's funny. The more I play Rome, you know, I would say that I think that this game's more fun than Rome, but there's a lot of things that Rome Total War did that you can see, like, other than the 3D graphics, right? Like that's the obvious one that changed the series and the 3D strategy map. You know, those are the very obvious things that changed the franchise and pushed it in a different direction. But there's a lot of things that Rome did that like are just really nice to have. And that's one of them, you know, because yeah, as I just mentioned, it is nice to hold these frontier provinces as they are, as like frontiers, and not have to have this bloat. In any case, though, I did lose Palestine down here to the Mongols. Now, this keep is going to last for 2 turns with a very small garrison here, and I imagine they would just attack. They probably could. Do they have artillery? I have to remind myself. Do they have? Yes, they do have a mortar here. Yeah, not too afraid of the mortar itself, but the fact I do have a curtain wall. Yes, so despite that image having a wooden wall around my keep, that's actually going to be a stone wall. And that's very important. It means that they can't just hack through any portion of that outer wall. They have to go in through the gate, which is going to have like boiling water or boiling oil, I think. So that would be a tough assault for them, except for the fact that I have like nothing that's really melee focused inside of the keep itself. I just have 2 horse archers, 2 crossbows, 39 feudal men-at-arms, and some peasants. So yeah, pretty pathetic. I'm going to have to send down some troops from either Tripoli or Antioch. The fact that there's very little in Syria is going to make me feel a bit more comfortable in that regard. I think so. Here's the thing. So I probably can spare 1 or 2 sacks from Antioch and then maybe a stack from Tripoli, and that might be enough to push the Mongols out of Palestine. What do they have left as far as like Mongol heavy cav is concerned? 1 unit there, 1 unit there, and then that's pretty much it. After those 2 units of Mongol heavy cav, it's going to be horse archers and naphtha throwers for the most part. Not even too many Mongol warriors by the looks of it. Yeah, not too many. A couple of units of Mongol warriors, but most of the infantry is naphtha throwers, so that's fun. Yeah, so I would, you know, as I fought that battle in Palestine, I realized, yes, it is a rock desert with like no trees, right? Which is funny. I was looking at Edessa. Now, I've fought a few battles up here in Edessa, correct? I think I have. And this is also a rock desert, but I feel like I've fought battles that, didn't we have trees? Hold on. So attacking from Syria into Edessa is arid ground. Oh, okay. So that's the difference, is arid ground. But the province itself is rock desert. That's such a funny thing, isn't it? It's rock desert, but if you attack from Syria, which is, you know, sand desert, into Edessa, it's arid ground. Why? You know, that's kind of funny. That's kind of a weird thing. like in between the two places, there's trees, but here it's a rock desert, which is the same as Palestine, and then here it's just all sand. Yeah, that's kind of odd, isn't it? And then Rum, the Mongols do have Rum for now. The Byzantines have a small garrison inside of this keep. Just some naphtahs, crossbows, and a catapult. Attacking from here into Edessa, arid ground. Okay, that makes sense, because Rum is also arid ground. Got it. What is here in Rum? Oh my god. That's a lot of Mongol heavy cav. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17. Jesus Christ, I can't even count that high. That's a lot of Mongol heavy cav. Oh my god. How do they have so many Mongol? I feel like I've killed a lot of Mongol heavy cav. Jesus. Huh. You guys are free to go fight the Poles, you know. Like, I know you are, but you're kind of getting your ass kicked. So, you know, you can leave me and the Byzantines alone and go fight them. That would be nice. Man, all right. So, like, hopefully the Byzantines can just kind of fight the Mongols and push them out of Rum, but I kind of doubt they can win that. You know? The Mongols can't beat... I'm sorry, the Byzantines can't beat 17 Mongol heavy cav? Yeah, they have some amazing generals here, which is not good for them, but even with that, I don't know. Can urban militia beat Mongol heavy cav with the help of a 7 or 8 star general? You know, with spears too, who are also, you know, being led by that fantastic general. It may, I don't know, maybe if they can fight in the forest, but I don't know if the auto calc, you know, the auto resolve battles accounts for that type of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure how that works, but if they could push the Mongols out of Rum, that would be nice. Otherwise, the Mongols, I wouldn't, they could just skip past this keep and fight in Edessa, but, I was going to say that would be risky to them, because if the Byzantines took Rum while they left, then they would have no place to retreat to, but that's not true. They could always retreat to Syria. And because I'm pretty sure that's how that works. If you have to retreat somewhere and the province you were just in is taken, but you know, you can basically hop provinces, I think, by retreating through a province. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. So these units or armies would not be wiped if they lost in Edessa and the Byzantines took back Rum during that end turn phase. They got 3 more Mongol heavy cav here, in addition to a bunch of Mongol warriors. Yes, scary stuff. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. And no Mongol heavy cav up here in Trebizond. All right. Yeah, that makes things a little bit hard. I wonder with the Italians, would you guys be some pals and help me out here in Palestine? We are allies, and this could be an opportunity for them to increase their Doge's influence. How is he doing, by the way? Where is... So he only has 4 influence, and yes, they are still excommunicated, but if they do want to increase that influence, they could assist me here, because that is one of the ways you can increase your influence, is by assisting allies in defensive sieges. And who are these Mongols that are... Ooh, you guys are... Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, the Khan is cut off. He is surrounded. Interesting. I mean, they have 3 units of Mongol heavy cav and not much else. Oh, okay, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 units of Mongol heavy cav still. So this is going to last forever in a siege. Yeah, they would have to attack, because there's only 4 men left in that unit. Now, they do have men here in Lithuania, so the Poles could come down there. The Polish king is in Prussia. He could also come down to Volhynia. And then they have these 4 stacks here in Kiev as well. So even though they would like to hold Kiev, yeah, I wonder if they could do that. I wonder if they could. That could be very good for them. If these 2 stacks moved from Lithuania into Volhynia, and say they, like, I don't know, moved 1 or 2 of these stacks from Kiev into Volhynia to attack and kill the Mongol Khan, and then still hold Kiev against the Crimea and Pereslavl as well, which doesn't have much, but it has something. Why am I rooting for the Poles? I should be rooting against the Poles, but yeah, I don't know. The Mongols have been giving me so much issues that I'm thinking I'm getting my priorities mixed up here, because my long-term play is still to, destabilize the Polish Empire at some point so that they do not catch up to me on points. But the Mongols have been such a nuisance that I'm starting to think, oh, maybe I can, I don't know. No, I have to remind myself to root against the Poles. Yes, got it. All right, so I have a governorship here in Ile-de-France, and I was trying to remind myself of why this had not been used so far. And was I waiting for Prince William to? Oh yeah, that's right, because Prince Alfred is going to come of age next turn. So Prince William is no longer going to be in the line of succession because he is the king's brother, and therefore his 4 acumen will make him a good governor. And then the governorship of Ile-de-France will give him 1 more command star, which is useful because he is leading the defenses of Antioch. Now, Antioch, I don't think has been tested, but still, you want as many command stars as you can get. And I have my better generals in Europe. I don't, maybe I should move 1 or 2 of them over to the Levant. These are some good generals, and it's nice having them here because these are my core territories, but I'm not being that tested. The Italians are my allies. The Germans are weak. The French are now weak. I still have to reinforce, I would say, Flanders, just to make sure they can't take that, but that probably shouldn't be too difficult. I should be able to reinforce Flanders with what I have in the area. And then the tougher issue, I think, is going to be retaking Palestine while also maintaining a decent enough fighting force in... like I said, Tripoli and Antioch is probably going to be fine with a stack each. But Edessa is going to be the one where I'm like, man, I don't know. Can I beat 17 Mongol heavy cav here in Edessa? That's a lot. That is a lot. What do they have for generals here? A bunch of 2 stars here. Okay. Then what about here? 2-star general. Eager to retreat. Nice. -2 morale. That's good. Araboge. And Nayuk. And then Jachi. 2 stars. No traits. Okay. So if they attack and they are being led by Araboge, then I know that, hey, maybe I can rout them just based on their low morale, perhaps. Now I have shuffled around my troops a bit here, so I am ready to make this attack on Palestine to see if I can take that back, see if I can rescue my garrison, and I'm still considering sending some troops to Edessa just to have a bit more backup oomph to sort of dissuade the Mongols from making an attack there. I'm 2 turns away from having a royal court finished here, and I think that's going to allow me to train the royal knights. Yes, finally. I do really, really want that to be finished, so I don't want Edessa to be taken, right? So sending an extra stack from Antioch does seem like it's probably important. And this is the stack that I can send. It's not anything too important, just some more bodies to make the Mongols think twice, right? So again, I'm not too worried about Antioch being taken. A lot of the forces that I do have here in Antioch are injured forces, either captured men from the previous battle, like this army. They cannot be moved in this turn because they are still considered to be in transit after being ransomed. And then the other units are kind of damaged units that have been brought here to merge together and to be sent back out. So that process has been happening, and I don't, this army being sent to Palestine is kind of ramshackle, to be honest. I only have 1 unit of actual spearmen, which is going to be this Feardman unit that I have somewhere. Yeah, 1 unit of Feardman, not great, but I do have a handful of Billmen, which is good, obviously. And what's actually, what's the terrain like if we, I know this is rock desert, but attacking from Tripoli into, see, yeah, that's arid ground. Interesting. Yeah, that's so funny. Tripoli, rock desert. Palestine, rock desert. Attacking from Tripoli into Palestine, arid ground. Huh. So we could get some forest in this map. Yeah, it's a really funny thing, isn't it? Okay, well, I guess. However, it is going to be a bit more complicated in the fact that we are attacking the Mongols. Never fun attacking a mostly mounted faction. But then again, you know, we can slow push across the map using our spears and billmen to protect our archers. I think I have 1 unit of longbows in here. Yeah, 1 unit of longbows, and then a bunch of basic archers. Yeah, it's something. Am I training longbows anywhere in the Levant yet? I don't think I think I was working on that in Palestine, actually, which sucks. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember what building I was working on in Palestine. I hope it wasn't a castle. It might have been a castle, though. I might have just had that interrupted, which, yeah, that's 12 turns that it requires to build that building. So, yeah, I'm not even worried about the $2,000 that it costs to build it. It's just the 12 turns, which is like, oh god, it's a long time. All right, well, let's see if that's going to be enough to take back Palestine, and let's kind of cross our fingers and hope that no one attacks Edessa here, and then Flanders should be okay. I did remove my 6-star general to bring him back to Brittany to get retrained, and then I brought in a 3-star general who had just been retrained here in Brittany. And he was actually the man who was originally defending Edessa. So he was going to be sent back to Edessa. I can't find him right now. He's there somewhere. But he was the man. Are you here? Yes. Yes. Sir Roger Longchamp. Yeah, you were being sent back to Edessa. But, you know, this is the guy that has the no mercy, -1 morale, but then natural leader +2 morale. So that, in addition to being a 3-star general, he will suffice to keep Flanders safe until this general gets retrained, him and this other unit tier of Royal Knights. So in the meantime, I threw some forces together. I got some Gallo glasses in here that got trained up in Ireland. And then I've just been moving forces down, sort of like a cover down situation from Aquitaine, Anjou, Ile-de-France, just to help out here. Send some troops from Mercy as well that were just recently trained up as well. Well, so this is kind of a ragtag, but again, ragtag, sure, but the French forces are not that strong now, and I beat them with a force that I thought that was going to struggle, and we did okay. So yeah, call me cocky, but I'm a little bit, yeah, I feel a little bit confident against the French forces now, and I'm going to be leaving these 4 units who are a bit beat up, but they're not weak enough to send away right now. These are still competent, you know, capable units at performing their jobs. So let's drop a save and let's get moving on here. Yeah, it's the year 1242. So I think the next counting period is at 1250. I think it might be 1250. And it kind of feels like we have to get a move on in this campaign. I keep saying that we keep fighting battles here, which makes the episodes a bit slower, as in they only take typically one turn per episode. But yeah, they keep fighting here. Yes, Byzantines, take back Rum, please. Please do that. And what is, all right, so Chernigov. All right, the Golden Horde is retreating from here. And they are just going to retreat from Palestine. Okay. That's fine by me. And yeah, the Spanish Crusades still cannot succeed in Cyrenaica. That's just so lame. All right, Richard Montfort has died of old age. Okie dokie. And Prince Alfred has come of age. Perfect. Hopefully you're good. Trading post has been finished here in Ile-de-France. A bit more money for us. Yes. And Brittany. The armor has been finished here. And do we just need the upgraded armor building before we can start training feudal knights? We're getting close. I know we're getting very, very close. And my princess was trying to get a ceasefire with the Aragonese, and they just do not want to hear it. Nope. And then same thing with the French. They also did not want a ceasefire. And same thing with the Mongols. Yeah, no one wants ceasefires. And we have another son on the way. All right, so Prince Alfred is going to have a younger brother. And Prince Alfred, I want to more curious about him. 3-star generals. Okay, that's good considering that my king has like 3 influence. So I was a bit worried about that. This seems okay though. And then hard sums. So this man's ability to add up and get the same result every time gives him an envied monetary ability. I would envy that as well. How does he do it? I don't know. +1 acumen, yes. And then killer instinct. So he has a talent for killing, making him quite effective on the battlefield. And discomfiting those who stand against him, +2 valor, and then +1 dread. All good stuff. And then King John II, a great builder, +1 loyalty to all generals, and then +10 happiness in all provinces. Yes. Lord Howard, you are a governor, and you will get +3 acumen. God damn, dude. All right, show off. Master of numbers. Okay, yeah. No, don't put that on his title. Numbers hold no mystery for this man, making him a paragon with account books and monetary matters. All right, you're bragging a bit. You can count. Got it. Edward Bruce, you are not a governor or a general, so it doesn't really matter. But -1 morale actually does apply to his unit. So I think that's a unit of billmen. So that's unfortunate. Having just a basic unit of billmen with -1 morale is, yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad. Let me just double check that because I think that is what you are. Yeah, that's a bummer. Counting on you guys to hold the line for me, but no, nope. All right, so that's a, I don't know. I was hoping for something a little bit decisive. I want more fights against the Mongols to deplete them more, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. And I'm happy with this. I'm happy with the fact that those Mongol forces, the really scary ones in Rum, they did not get pushed into Armenia. They went back to Trebizond, further away from me. So, yes, I like that. But still, we have this, and it's still just the 3 Mongol heavy cav. Okay. Plus a bunch of other stuff, but mostly the 3 Mongol heavy cav are the ones that I have my eyes on. So we have to go back to redistributing our forces here to make sure that Tripoli is covered. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. And we can train crossbows here in Palestine. Yeah. Gosh, I want to build stuff here, obviously. What would I have been building? It had to have been a castle, right? Unless I was building a church for that +1 morale, perhaps. I don't know if I was building an armor. I don't really need armor for these units that are fighting in the deserts. Maybe. It depends on the unit, I suppose, but yeah, I might have been building a castle. Oh, God. So how confident do I feel that I can build one and actually hold on to Palestine? It's tough knowing that that's what that fight was, in a rock desert, right? That made me feel like I needed more cav, I guess. I don't know. That was a tough one. That was a tough fight. I'm going to be able to train Royal Knights in Edessa soon, but yeah, that's not really the unit that's going to, win me open field battles against the Mongols, right? It's Royal Knights. It's a 20-man unit of heavy cav. That's not the game winner right there. So longbowmen, yes, that could be the game winner, but I was going to make Palestine my longbow producing province in the Levant. And if I can't hold on to it long enough to, build a castle, then it's going to be a little bit tricky. I am training longbows in 2 provinces here in Europe, one in Ile-de-France, and then the other one in Wales. So I suppose I could let Wales be my longbow producing province for the Levant until it's able to be self-sufficient in that regard. And then just pump out a bunch of billmen and call it good. Because billmen and longbows, just a pile of them should be able to hold an open field. You would think, right? Yeah. You would think. Now that Prince Alfred has come of age, and just to double check, yes, he is the next in line. Yes, yes. And not bad. Not bad. Yeah, you know, was that 7 loyalty, 2 piety, 1 dread, 3 command, and then 2 acumen. Yeah, it's okay. Considering that the king is still at 3 influence, that's shocking actually. I'm impressed. Go Alfred. So we have another son on the way, Prince Edmund. So he's going to be of age in 15 years. And how old is the king going to be in 15 years? He's going to be 60. So, yeah, keeping Prince Alfred's alive is important. I would. It's tempting. I don't want to just hold him here with Daddy. That's something that I've done a lot in my campaigns, is just to kind of, you know, keep all the sons with the father. Just to, you know, it avoids any civil wars, and it also keeps them alive if you're keeping them, you know, off of the front lines. And that's probably, you know, the safest play. But, you know, I don't know, you want to play safe all the time. You want to do exciting things and grow your people, because the thing is that having him in the same stack as his dad will continue to gain traits, while he will gain nothing. This is what he has, because it's only the top dog in each stack that gains any traits. So that can be both good and bad. You know, he won't gain any bad traits while he is in the stack underneath his dad, but he also won't gain any good traits either. So yeah, it's something I wanted to get away from, but this is a precarious situation, right? We need him for the campaign to continue. So keeping him safe, as boring as it is, I think that's just the way that we have to play this one. Now we have a 1-star here, Sir Edward Wulfstan. I think that you must have been the general of Anjou, because I don't see a general here. Yeah, 1 star is not great. Not great. Chivalrous is good though. Yeah, +2 morale. Yep, that's why. And then captured. Yes, +3. Got it. Yep, that's why. That's why you are a general, because of the +5 morale that you're giving this army. Yeah, that's good. Now let's go check on. I think it's going to be a Sir William now. I don't think it's Prince William still. Sir Alfred Bouchier. Oh, there you go, Prince William. Okay, there you go. There you go. So yeah, he's still in the line of succession. He's still there. So I don't know if I can give him that title. Let me check. So yeah, the Duke of Ile-de-France, and can I give it to him? No, I cannot. Okay, so he has to actually be out of the line of succession. Got it. So in that case, I guess I want to give it to someone else. I'm tempted to give it to you. 2 acumen's not great, but 4 stars, that'd bump you up to a 5-star. And let's see here. Yep, +3 morale, that's a good one. Steward is a good governor trait. He must be getting that from someone else underneath him, like this guy, Lord Gascoigne, the Count of Tripoli. Yeah, so he, unfortunately, is getting his traits robbed by his, you know, the guy in charge of the stack. So that's why he has the steward trait. 10% to agricultural production. Yeah, and +10 happiness. That's also a good one. And he has a lot of dread, so, you know, you can keep the public order happy as well. I guess. I don't like these governorships just sitting idle. I do want them to be used. So let's just actually check how much the income goes up. 388. And let's give it to him. So 5 stars, and then we're looking at 502. So yes, that's solid. That is a solid increase, and we can continue to bolster the economy of Ile-de-France. We've been really focusing it on military stuff, and that's fine. But it does have grain, and I have built my tier 1 trading post just in that last turn, so I could just continue on that route. I could get some more farmland. How much trade is this giving me? Not the tavern, the trading post. It's 22. Okay, it's not a lot of money from that grain, but That's what you get with landlocked trading provinces. So let's get the 2 remaining farming upgrades. Especially since the governor now is a steward, so we can gain as much as we can from that. Now, when looking for a new governor for Palestine, I don't know if this captain of this archer unit, I don't know if he used to be a governor, but that's a lot of acumen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 acumen, not bad. Moral flexibility, meh. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember. Has the AI ever bribed any of my units ever? And he's just an archer unit, so that's fine. And then affable, plus 30 happiness, and then plus 3 acumen. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Now, Palestine, it's not like a super duper rich province. There's no trade goods here, but I think that the farm income is decent. This is tapped out in regards to the farm upgrades, and then this was by the Egyptians, I believe. I think that they built that. I don't think that I built those farm upgrades, but still. Actually, that's not even on. Yeah, there we go. 621 on very high taxes. And then let's just give this to him. 1,056. Yeah, not bad. Now, I am putting in for another castle. Well, I say another. I don't know if I had put in for a castle before, but maybe I did. We'll see. You know, I'm just going to go for it, see if I can hold on to Palestine for 12 turns. Well, also, of course, you know, reorganizing my forces so that I can also hold Tripoli as well. I would say, like, so what, we have 2 turns left before this monastery is finished here in Tripoli. Should I just, like, monasteries aren't, you know, super important for me. I was just going to get that additional morale for the units that I'm training here. The Inquisitors are something that I can work on eventually, but it's not a priority in this part of the world. So if I lose that monastery, is it that big of a deal? I already have a castle here. I can't just retreat to that if I need to. Whereas holding Palestine for, you know, for 12 turns to get that castle in place, that might be something that I want to prioritize. I do have like an extra stack up here in Europe that I was trying to find a place for these guys, and I was thinking they were in Ile-de-France, but I'm feeling kind of secure here. But then again, every time I say that, I end up getting attacked. But as long as the Italians continue to, you know, be good friends and to not attack me, we should be okay up here. The Germans should be too occupied to attack from Lorraine. What do they have here? Yeah, it's, you know, I don't know. It's not the scariest stuff that I've ever seen, and they should be too distracted to attack me. But then again, I thought that the French wouldn't attack me either because, you know, I thought that the Germans were easier targets, but apparently the French really do want their home territories back, which I guess makes sense. I guess that does make sense. So leaving these forces back in Ile-de-France, is it going to be enough, or should I keep this stack there? I kind of want this stack in the Levant. I kind of want to send them overseas to the Levant just to have more troops there, because I'm feeling like, oh, I don't know, I can train troops from, you know, quite a few provinces over here in Europe, and then over here, I can only train troops from a handful of provinces. And, you know, things just feel like they're getting a little bit ground down. I could use some spearmen in these armies, some more billmen, because I'm focusing triply on billmen. And then I can get the feudal men-at-arms here in Antioch now that the swordsmith has been finished. And then, yeah, we're still working on getting those royal knights eventually. One more turn left? Yes, 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 yes. We want that. We definitely want that. Again, I am ready to end this turn after a bit of shuffling about and making sure that I can maybe, hopefully hold on to all of my provinces here. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try to build that castle back up here, and I don't like my appointment for a general. This is the guy that led the last battle here, and he's a good runner, which is -3 morale. He's a 2-star general, but man, we just don't really have much. I could maybe bring him down. He's a better general at least, because he has the charismatic leader and the natural leader. But yeah, he has the -4 valor, so he's not perfect either. Slim pickings for sure, slim pickings, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll try to make do. It's a scrappy front over here, but all in all, I think we're going to be okay. We're making a lot of money. We're making 14 grand per turn. So yeah, that part feels pretty good. And if we have to continue to fight over provinces with the Mongols, then so be it. As long as we're making progress in regards to building up my agent tech over in Europe, essentially. Yep, there they go. And they're going to be attacking Tripoli. All right, so the Polish are going to be retreating here in Chernigov, and the Byzantines are retreating in, okay, wow, okay, they're retreating into Constantinople. But this is, yeah, so the Mongols are attacking from Trebizond, and that has that stack that has all of those Mongol heavy cav, so that kind of makes sense. And the Byzantine, oh yeah, so yep, that very force that I just mentioned split off, and it was able to take both Nicaea and Constantinople. That's why Trebizond is such a dangerous province to give up if you're the Byzantines, because it borders, you know, Constantinople, Nicaea, Anatolia, and Rum. Like, yeah, that can be tough. And where else? And Anatolia. God damn, yes, wow. The Mongols branched out and they took all of those provinces. Now, the Byzantines have forces here, so they can branch out and take some of them back, but they can't reach all of them from Rum in Lesser Armenia. They can reach Anatolia, sure, and Trebizond, sure, but yeah, we'll have to monitor that and see what happens. And here we are in Tripoli. Okay, so I outnumber them by like 300 or so. It looks like we're going to be fighting in the desert. I don't see any trees on this map, which is interesting. And yes, they have a 2-star general, Jibdun, and they do have three Mongol heavy cav in their initial stack. Their general's unit is going to have just 6 men in it, okay? And then 8 Mongol horse archers, 3 Mongol warriors, and then a mortar unit. Okay, so that's okay. I feel like I can beat that. And then reinforcements, just all Napthos basically. Yeah, Napthos and horse archers. Okay. So as long as we can hold against that initial wave, we should be okay, I reckon. We have, I think, 4 billmen in this army, and we have spearmen, militia sergeants, we can use crossbows. Looks like we have some hills that we can use as well. And Sir Richard Bonfort is the general that does give the +5 morale. So these guys should hold as well. I think we should be okay here. Well, this is an interesting map here. Looks like they're going to be fighting me in a bit of a sandstorm. So the visibility is going to be a little bit affected here. All right. A bit of a town here in the low ground, which I'm definitely not going to be holding because I see plenty of high ground around. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Look at that. Got their mosque and a farmhouse. And a couple houses as well. What do we have back here? House, and house. And yeah, we get some high ground. And it's interesting. Like, that's obviously very steep. Now, they could just attack from this direction, but this is still, it's a little lump. I mean, it's not so bad when you look at it from here, you know? It's not so bad. I can still have spears on the low ground and, you know, archers, crossbows on the high ground. Because there's no way they're attacking from this direction. But still, like, that means that they would be attacking me on a narrow front, which is very bad for them. If they want to flank around, they'd have to come from this side. And if they, you know, do make the mistake of attacking me and try to flank in around this side, I have a severe advantage against them. So this might be the way to go. I could also like just start up against the fence here and go as high as I can, which is an option maybe. Yeah, I wonder, maybe that's what I want to do. Just to get as high up as possible. And I mean, over here, this is also a decent high ground. This is another place where I could maybe just start up against the fence and then march on up. It's pretty good. It's pretty steep on both sides, but it's kind of in the middle of the map, so any reinforcements would have to make their way from the back of the map, and of course they could just get run down by the Mongols. So I think, I don't know, I'm kind of tempted to start here and see how far up the this mountain I can march. We are all formed up, so let's see here. All right, how far up here can we go? I mean, it looks like we can get to the top. All right, that's cool. Yeah, that should be a pretty good high ground. Yeah, it's a little shallow on this side, but I think that's okay. This is a commanding view of the entire map. And considering that we're going up against 8 Mongol horse archers, I mean, we're going to want to be able to outduel them with our own ranged tools as well. I did bring 2 crossbows in addition to 3 basic archers. I only have the 1 general's unit as my cav. I didn't bring any hobblars in my initial army. Considering that their initial army is almost all mounted, there's not going to be many opportunities for me to chase them down, essentially. But of course, I do have hobblars in my reinforcements to, you know, run down any Nappa throwers that might come onto the map. Our men are still marching up this hill here, this mountain, and the Mongol horse archers have caught up to us, and they are starting to shoot into our rear and flanks as we're making this long, arduous march. The heavy cav are standing off in the back, kind of like the last battle, I believe. But our archers are going to be on line soon, so they can shoot. So crossbows can start shooting, and archers can start to return fire. Okay, so that feels good. At least we can start to return fire here. And Billman, yeah, don't really want... You know what? Let's bring the militia sergeants down the hill, and let's bring the Billman... We'll bring them up when the militia sergeants come down here, because I don't want these guys getting shot. The militia sergeants are less valuable to me, so if they take some shots, that's fine. I want to save my Billmen. I want them to be fully healthy when those heavy cav arrive. We are doing a bit of light skirmishing on the left side here, where they have 2 horse archers and their Mongol warriors. 2 of my archers are shooting on into them. And I believe, have crossbows as my first reinforcement unit, I think. So that, yeah, you know, when one of these guys run out of ammo, I can bring them on as well. Because, yeah, these guys are going to be running out of ammo pretty soon, I would say. And that's why I like having these crossbows as well. Again, it just provides consistent firepower for much longer into the battle. But they are playing very coy. They really are not giving an engagement here. But that's a lot of firepower. If they want to get on station and start shooting, you know, they can do some damage for sure. I don't think I just have shields in my spearmen here, my fearedmen, order foot soldiers. And then even then, I don't think my fearedmen have pretty good armor. I think it's just the order foot soldiers that have decent armor. So the militia sergeants and the Billmen, I mean, the militia sergeants have some armor. I think it's like a armor value of 3, I think. It's something, but yeah, it's nothing too crazy, which is fine for fighting in the desert. You know, you want that. You want that balance. These archers are now out of ammo, and I'm going to attempt to withdraw them. Hopefully they don't get caught out here. These Mongol warriors did advance right up into the teeth of my defenses here, but they're still playing very, very coy on this side, so I'm not too worried about that. And I want to keep an eye on these guys, because if I have to run out to save them with my -4 Valor General, that's going to get a little bit dicey. So we're going to keep an eye on these guys. It seems like they're not going for it. That's nice. I'm glad that I have a nice, easy retreat path that shouldn't be too harried by the Mongols. So that's fine. Let's make sure that I can get my reinforcements up here. And we can start bringing down some crossbows as soon as they are off the map. All of my archers have been sent off by now, and I have brought down some more crossbows to continue skirmishing against these forces over here on this side. And over here on this side, still nothing decisive has been done here. I brought these crossbows up and I brought these spears back just so that we can maybe get some more better range. They were staying just outside of my range, so I thought maybe doing this, but again, when you bring crossbows on the front lines, you of course have to worry about getting suddenly charged, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, but Yeah, they've been, I mean, their heavy cav is still off in the distance. I see them, so I'm going to continue to keep an eye on them. I have my last archer unit who's getting off the board. He's not off yet, so once he's, yeah, it's funny. I can't see him, but I can see his unit card down here. He's still here, so once he is gone, I can bring on another unit. And just over a quarter of the battle timer has expired, so there's still a lot of time left. I'm going to be doing a bit of fast forwarding here to see if we can get anything decisive happening. By now, we are coming up on 3/4 of the battle timer having played out, and they're still continuing to be most aggressive on this side. They have 2 Mongol warriors that are pressing our lines a little bit here, and their rapid fire bows are actually doing a bit of damage here to this militia sergeant who have been in loose formation pretty much the entire battle. And do you guys actually want to fight us in melee? Because I'll take that fight. I don't know if I'll win it, but I'll take that fight with my militia sergeants. These guys are probably hankering for a fight after just having to stand here getting shot, you know, point blank, and having these guys continuing to run away. But yeah, these crossbows, they're not great at dueling other archers, right? Because they just have that slower rate of fire. I like having them duel horse archers because those are smaller units. 40 men versus 60, you know, it's easier to win that skirmish engagement, but yeah, this is a bit tougher, even with a height advantage. Still, you know, it's better just to kind of hang out here. It's tempting to chase after them, right? But we've seen how good of a fighters Mongol warriors are, and considering that my mobility consists of Hobilars and a -4 Valor general, I don't want none of that smoke. No, thank you. I'm just going to hang back and play defensive. Oh, look, they're finally in range of my archers. Nice. So crossbows on this side can finally start to get some shots into them. Here and then here. Yep, that all looks good. I can't bring on any more guys, can I? No, okay. No, that's okay though. I think I have three crossbows on the field right now. And we have to keep an eye on this side. If they want to charge these crossbows, we have to get them back and cover them with these feared men. Now these Mongol warriors are charging my poor militia sergeants. Man, they're down to 24 men. So let's send some billmen down here to help out. I was actually just considering bringing them out and filling this gap with a different unit. Just because, you know, when the unit does rout, it lowers the morale of nearby units, of course. So having a, you know, weakened unit like this is never a good feeling. But then again, I mean, 17 strong. Should I bring down some more militia sergeants down here? And then just have these militia sergeants just cover a bit wider like this. Yeah, let's send them into help out here. Yeah, those militia sergeants are running away, which is unfortunate. Are they routing as well? It says they're uncertain. How about the Mongol warriors? Okay, we're getting a flank charge. Oh, geez. Okay. All right. Mongol horse archers coming in here. And they broke those militia sergeants right away. Okay, that's a little bit scary. You might want to bring down some more billmen here because things are getting a little bit crazy. Where those Mongol heavy cav are off in the distance still, so it's a good thing, I suppose. All right, don't get too crazy here. Just go after the Mongol warriors that are right here, and then yeah, you guys as well help out, and then okay, so those billmen just routed as well. Jesus, that's getting a little bit scary. Let's bring down a general just to kind of have his leadership bonus nearby. And they're not pressing the attack with their other units. Okay, so I got some naphtha throwers coming on. There you go. There they go. All right, so can we beat these units here? So they're running away. That's good. And they will get cut down eventually. But man, they did a number against my guys. Yeah, Mongol warriors are just crazy, aren't they? They're just so good for, you know, a hybrid unit, right? Very, very solid. But with my generals nearby, you know, with my general's proximity, he should be able to provide more of a leadership bonus, I think. So, yeah, it looks like we were able to push them off eventually. But yeah, that wasn't easy. That wasn't easy. Let's spread my billmen out now. And we should be able to get some more reinforcements on once those units are done leaving the field. And it looks like we have a quarter of the battle timer remaining. So we still have to keep an eye on those Mongol heavy cav because they did do that in one of the previous battles, right? Where they basically waited until the last few minutes to make a push, and yeah, it got pretty hectic. I think that was the fight. I think that was one of the fights that I won, but still. What are you guys doing? What are they? What are these militia sergeants doing? They're so spread out. It's hard to tell where are you guys? It looks like that unit's fighting. It's exhausted. Where's the unit? Oh, it's up here. Okay, I was like, where are they? Yeah, wow, it's weird how spread out they are. Yeah, if you guys can just get back to being here, that'd be great. And let's get some more reinforcements on. I am bringing on another unit of Hoplars, and this might be where I want to... Can I get another unit? Yes. And yeah, with 2 Hoblar units, this might be where I want to charge down these naphtha throwers, right? Now, I have a feeling that Mongol horse archers can beat Hoplars head to head. But with 3 Hoblar units, we might be able to punch through and run down some of these naphthas. These guys are getting pretty close to us. So yeah, just have the one naphtha here. These Hoblars have to come up. Yeah. All right, let's just charge. Let's see if we can at least take care of that unit there. And then, yeah, as soon as these guys become available to me, are you guys available to me? Yeah, run down here, please. We did broke them. Perfect. And there's no reaction from the Mongol horse archers quite yet. So let's back, guys, I told you to go attack them. Yep, please attack them. There we go. And they are going to be running away. All right. Let's see here. If the Mongol horse archers are not going to be aggressively protecting their naphtha throwers, then I do want to run them down, but I also don't want to get caught out. Because that's how the Mongols win. So let's just go back. Yeah. Let's not get too fancy here. If the naphthas come closer to our lines again, then we can charge out again. But yeah, sending my Hoblar units out just to get ganged up on by Mongol cavalry as they get isolated, you know, that's obviously how they win, right? So let's not play into their hands. These naphthas are getting a little bit too close for comfort, so let's charge down at them here. I don't think they should be in grenade range from here. I would be surprised if they are. They have very short range with their grenades, so yeah, that should be a good charge. And they break and start running away immediately. And let's just bring down these billmen just in case these horse archers want to help out here. All right, let's just get back. Let's get back. Never mind. Just kidding. Just kidding. Let's get back. Oh, yep. Here you are, being sneaky like. Yeah, I see you. 3 Mongol heavy cav making their way. All right, well, there's not a lot of time remaining. But I'm glad that I checked. I'm glad that I checked. Every once in a while, I'll check on those guys, and yeah, when you see that hill and they're not there, you're like, oh my god, where are they? Okay, they're right there in the village. I see you guys. I mean, I still have plenty of billmen and spears, so I should be okay here. Here they come. Yep, they're coming right up the middle, it looks like, and I feel like I'm prepared. You know, I got these 2 billmen on this side. They are, man, yeah, it's funny how they really seem to be funneling in on this side of things. So if that's the case, let's bring down these feared men just to give them a big solid block of spears to run on into. And these militia sergeants are likely the weakest part right here. So let's come down. Oh, nope, you're transferring over. Oh, tricky. So you come down there, and then order of foot are going to be right there. So crossbows should be shooting into the big hulking armored dudes. And then, yeah, they all want to, yep, hit my spears. I'm fine with that. And so let's get billmen down here. And then where's the charge coming? So you go here and then here and then here. I'm actually okay with that. And then they took that fight. So let's just go here and put my spears on engage at will. And then let's see here. Let's see. Yep, let's bring down these billmen as well. And it says they're losing here. It says they're winning on this side. So let's just get a little flank charge in with my hobblers. Just to sort of break their morale a little bit. And yeah, I don't know about this. It says they're losing. I guess that's okay. Yep, guess that's okay. And is that going to help break them? Hobblers obviously don't want to really be fighting this fight, but I feel like we have enough of an advantage here to pull them down and drag them down. And yes, we are breaking them here. Let's just bring down the order foot just to sort of, you know, be in close proximity and not allow their Mongol horse archers to flank my billmen. Yeah, we don't all want to funnel in and create a big blob because then it's just going to be, you know, leaving our flanks wide open, and that is not what we want. So let's just bring down these Fearmen here as well. And is there general? Where is their general? He was in a smaller unit, was he not? Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they pulled him back earlier in the battle, perhaps. And yeah, they're fighting tough. They really are. They're not breaking. But that's fine with me. You know, if we get to kill Mongol heavy cav down to the last man, that's great. You know, it makes the next battles a bit easier. And they have all of those Mongol heavy cav in Anatolia. The poor Byzantines have to deal with them there. So dragging these units down here makes this battle a bit more decisive, which does feel good. I was worried there for a moment, thinking like, oh, geez, all we are going to be doing here is, you know, picking off some horse archers and some Naphthas, which is useful, sure, but, you know, these are the guys that when you get rid of them, it really does make it feel like you are sort of neutering the Mongol power in the region. Oh, here we go. We got some step cav. You guys kind of blended in there. Sneaking by. Almost got into my crossbows. Sneaky, sneaky. Well, let's bring down my hobblers. They can get a little flanking charge in. And we'll see. We'll see if it's going to be necessary. They might just break. Although it says they're beating my Fearedmen, which is pretty crazy. Because step cav is light cav, but I think they are the best light cav in the game, are they not? But not good enough to 1v2 a unit of spears and a unit of hobblers. So there we go. Nice. Let's just reform my Fearedmen, and then let's get my hobblers back as well. And there's barely any time left in this battle, so let's continue. Ooh, yep. Let's take this. We can get a few more Naphthas on this side. Yeah, it's too late, guys. It's too late. That's going to do it, so I didn't have to hold them off for 70 minutes. Yeah, that's a long time. Of course, I was able to fast forward through a lot of it, but still, yeah, that was a tedious battle. I did kill 470, and I captured 34, and I lost 291. So, you know, honestly, like they did some casualties against me as well. But again, as I mentioned before, getting rid of those Mongol heavy cav units, it just feels good every time I get any of them. So yes, there we go. The Spanish continue to just retreat here from Cyrenaica. And the Italians are retreating from Genoa. Ooh, okay. So it looks like the papacy might be taking Genoa. Okay. And yeah, the Mongols are going to be refusing that ransom of 34 men. They could not afford that. Okay. And then there is some unrest here in Tyrulia. I think that is a German loyalist against the Italians. I think. I guess we'll find out. I am the richest. Well, yeah, I should be. Got 129,000 in the treasury, so that feels pretty good. And yes, Sir Richard Montfort is now 3rd-star general. Nice. So he's like super fat, but like he's a pretty good leader. Yeah. Looks like there's an Inquisition here in Sicily and an Inquisition here in Aragon as well. The Italian Inquisitor is causing some issues there. And we're catching Italian assassins in Antioch. How dare they? How dare they? They're going after my my king's brother. And same thing with the Polish assassin as well. Gasp. All right, we get some farm upgrades here in Aquitaine. Yes, lovely. And Ireland has a church. So the Gale Glasses and Current's going to be getting that +1 morale. Love to see it. And Edessa finally has the royal court. Yes, yes. Now we can finally train royal knights in the Levant. That feels good, man. The year 1243 or 1244, I think, by the time this end turn is finished. And Swordsmith is finished in Anjou. Now Wales doesn't have to focus on swords anymore. We can just do longbows because we can get swords in Anjou. Nice. That feels good. And the Spanish king has declined my marriage proposal. I was trying to get his princess to marry my Prince Alfred. Yeah. Too bad. And another son has arrived. Yes, wonderful. So that's going to be 3 altogether. 1 of age, and then 2 much younger sons, actually. Yeah, they basically are going to be like 15, 16 years younger than Prince Alfred. Well, okay. And what do we have here? Sir Nigel Talbot. Well, you are not a governor or a generalist. Doesn't really matter. Morcar Mortimer. What a name there. And then Lord Hastings. Great builder, +10 happiness, and +1 loyalty. Perfect. Love to see it. Now, I just want to check out the spread of Mongols up here in Anatolia, because this is, as I was looking at before, like this is kind of dodgy. So in Constantinople, they have 3 units of Mongol heavy cav. The thing is that with all of these Mongol heavy cav units now spread out, the Byzantines might be able to pick them off 3 by 3. Because I'm seeing 3 full strength units here in Constantinople. Nicaea has 4, which is tough. Nicaea is probably going to fall to the Mongols, right? There's no way the Byzantines can get here in time. This would fall in 2 turns. I don't think the Mongols would attack. I think they would just starve them out. What do we have here? This is another 4 Mongol heavy cav, but Anatolia can be attacked by all the Byzantine forces in Lesser Armenia and Rum, so they could take that back, or Trebizond only has 1 half-strength unit of Mongol heavy cav, so there is that. There's 3 of them here in Armenia, and then 1 of them here in Georgia. So that's the spread. And down here in Syria, like 0, I think. Like 9, there's a 9-man unit right there. And that's it. We're looking kind of good down here. Sure, they can bring more, but, you know, by more, I mean 3 from Armenia if they wanted to. So that helps us. The fact that the Byzantines have to deal with all of those units of heavy cav. Sure. Yeah, that's nice, actually. And that's going to do it for this episode. Again, we just got through another 2 turns, so this campaign is going pretty slowly here, but you know what? We got to do it the right way here. Now, I know that my microphone has been having a little bit of issues here and there. I think it's one of my cables. I think it's the I don't even know the word for these things. The jack, is that the name of the connector? The way it connects to things, the wires. See, I don't know. I don't know the name of anything. I should not be running a YouTube channel. But I think it's that. I think it's like the place where my microphone connects to the cords, basically. And I think there's some issues there where if it's not like, it's like pushed for me, like I push it all the way in, of course, but it's like it's a little jostled. It's like a little jostled loose. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's causing some issues with my audio, which isn't good. You got to have good audio on YouTube. You have to. It's very important. So that's a little bit tricky because I don't know if that's a thing that can be fixed or if you just have to buy a new microphone. And I'm not in a place right now where I can buy a new microphone. Maybe if I bought a really cheap one. Yeah, maybe. I know you can get cheap ones and then use, audio software to make it sound better, which is what I do anyway with this microphone. But anyway, if it does sound a little bit fuzzy, apologies. I can't hear anything as I'm recording it. That's the issue. When I'm recording, I hear it sounds fine. And then when I get into the editing, I go, oh, I can hear a fuzz. I hear that fuzzy sound. So I do my test my test recordings, my test audio. I test my audio before I record an episode, and I was testing it and it sounded okay. But if the cord just got jostled during the recording and it's getting messed up, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, if it sounds like shit, apologies. I'm going to try to figure it out. But before I go, I just wanted to say that if you're enjoying these videos and you would like to support the channel, then consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. It all helps immensely. So until next time, this has been Constip playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.